Have you ever felt mentally cluttered, full of thoughts, yet unable to focus? You scroll endlessly, like drift between tabs and struggle to form a single clear idea? In this video, let's unpack the science behind journaling. How writing is not just emotional release, but actual neurological repair. Hello everyone, welcome to Energizing Psychological Tips. Just in case, if you haven't subscribed the channel, I request you to kindly subscribe and follow along. Friends, now listen. Sometimes your mind feels full but unfocused. Am I right? You spend the past hours scrolling, drifting from one window to another. When you pick up a notebook, not because what you say, because you need a place and thoughts to land. You write one line, then the other. The words come out uneven. Something inside of you shifts. In brain scans, something remarkable happens. Okay? See, when people write about their feelings, the regions for emotions and the regions of reasoning begins to synchronize, as if the brain is learning to talk to itself. Quite interesting, right? Yes. That is the hidden part of journaling. This is not just refreshing, it's neurological repair. See, when you start writing, the prefrontal cortex, the part that helps you plan, analyze, and think, and also begin to communicate with the amygdala, the region that reacts to emotions. A 2021 study from Stanford found that expressive writing helps the brain recover from stress. The mind, the single eight cortex that which usually fires up emotional pressure, becomes very calmer and more coordinated. And when you put your emotional into words, the ventrolateral prefrontal cortex turns on, helping to quieten the amygdala. This process, my friends, is called an affect labeling. Now, let's see some practical tips for using affect labeling, which I feel will be much effective. Number one, pause. For example, give yourself a brief moment before reacting. Number two, name it. For example, choose a specific word like frustrated or nervous or excited. Okay. And number three, write it down. A quick note reinforces the label. And number four, breathe. A slow breathe as a psychological repose center. Number five, re-evaluate. Ask yourself, what triggered this feeling? What can I do about this? Even the way you write also matters. 2023 studies frontal psychology shows that handwriting activate more areas of in brains that I'm sure you would have experienced this. I used to memorize better and understand better when I wrote notes and read from my written notes. See, when your hand moves with your thoughts, that is, your mind slows down to make sense of itself. Now, I am sure you guys must be curious about it, like how should it be written? Alright, let's see one by one. Technique number one, expressive writing. See, think about something you still carry or some disappointment you faced or any loss it could be. A moment that lingers a longer it should be, like 15 to 20 minutes. Just write about it. And most importantly, don't worry about grammar and don't edit and don't write it for anyone else. Write until you run out of words. This is expressive writing and it's developed by psychologist Dr. James. Okay, it works because the brain treats emotional suppressions that unfinished work and writing completes that. Studies shows that after expressive writing, the brain's emotional centers quiet down, while cognitive control increases. As a result, your body feels lighter because your mind has stopped trying to contain what it has finally released. You might cry, you might feel tired, you might want to stop after this. It's okay. Healing requires small amount of discomfort before calm returns. Technique number 2, gratitude journaling. I know you must be very familiar with this. And here, let's see some nuances how to follow it in a proper way. Okay. See, you have to write down as many things you are grateful for. It could be anything. See, gratitude journaling does not force only positivity. It actually reframes your attention. And neuroscientists have found that by practicing gratitude, it activates the ventral striatum and it regulates mood and motivation. When you do this in daily basis, you teach your brain to look forward what is stable instead of what is threatening. And one more thing you need to follow here is you have to be specific. Okay. For example, I am grateful for my friend. You're writing in this way. Okay. Instead of that, you can write, I am grateful for the way my friend listened to me when I needed support. Okay, you got my point? This sort of details anchors the memory and your brain begins to build new emotional associations. Over time, the practice turns like nervous system to balance, and it does not erase struggle. It helps you to see beyond it, and that's the beauty of it. I believe you found this video useful, my friends. Also, I request you to kindly subscribe the channel and follow along. Until next video, stay focused and stay vigilant. Thanks for watching.